What up, you guys? Welcome back to the Dre Files. The Dre Files. The Dre Files. And as you can see, I have a lot of energy. Why? Because I was running off of 2 hours of sleep before I started work, and I had 2 cups of coffee, and I don't drink coffee. I feel very wired. As you can see, I cannot stop shaking. So this video is probably going to be a lot of fast-paced talking, and I don't know where my mind might take us, but we're here, okay? Welcome to the Dre Files, featuring yours truly, Andre. But you know how we do, babe. Before we get into today's video, I gotta do a promo for my business. I mean, why not? Today we are wearing Cloud9. Because everybody deserves to be on Cloud9, especially with 420 coming up next month. For all my 420 and smoker enthusiasts out there, I need you to go cop you some. Run it up, baby, because if you want your stuff by 420, you need to order it now. You know what I'm saying? Give me time to make it and process it and send it out to you. I mean, come on. And you can order yours now at what? ariandrellc.com. That's ariandre.com. So, we're going to start this video off with a dilemma. I know that's kind of unusual. We usually do them at the end. But when I read this dilemma, I related to it so much. And I thought, there are so many people out here in the world that need to hear this, that need to understand this. So we're going to start with the dilemma, and then we're going to expand on it throughout this video, okay? But before we start talking about this dilemma, if you yourself are going through anything, or you need an extra ear, an extra viewpoint, an extra something, I don't know, if you need help with anything, go ahead and hit that Google link down below and send in your response. The dilemma of the week is basically just to be a helper, a therapist, a third eye. I don't know how to explain it anymore. Y'all know the drill by this point, okay? If you just joined in the channel, figure it out. Talk to the other people, okay? No, I'm kidding. But the dilemma of the week is pretty much just where people send in stuff they're going through, a dilemma they're having, or a question that they have, and I just give my viewpoint and answer it the best way I can. And sometimes when I do that, it gives you a different point of view, a different perspective, something else to look at, or maybe some advice on how you need to go about things. It's my opinion. You can take it if you want, but I would like it to help you in life. So that's why I'm doing this dilemma. I love doing it in my everyday life. I love giving people advice in my everyday life. So that's what I'm doing to my fam on the internet, my fam through the phone, okay? Hold on, I'm finding it. All right, so today's dilemma, it states, hey, I could really use some advice. I'm 24, and lately I've been feeling really stuck in life. Career-wise, I don't feel like I'm doing much yet, and I still live at home. When I look around at people my age, it feels like everyone else is moving forward, getting careers, apartments, stability, and I feel like I'm falling behind. Oh my gosh, why can't I read? Anyways, if I stutter one more time, I'm going to slice my neck. Hey, I could really use some advice. I'm 24, and lately I've been feeling very stuck in life. So there's a storm going on outside, and that thunder lasted like at least 10 seconds. So if you hear any extra noise, it's that. Okay, this is probably going to be a very chaotic video, but I promise we're going to get somewhere. Hey, I could really use some advice. I'm 24, and lately I've been feeling really stuck in life. Career-wise, I don't feel like I'm doing much yet, and I still live at home. When I look around at people my age, it feels like everyone else is moving forward, getting careers, apartments, stability, and I feel like I'm falling behind. What makes it harder is that when I try to relax and have fun, I feel guilty about it. Like if I'm hanging out with my friends, going out, or even taking time for myself, there's a voice in my head saying I should be working on my future instead. But at this time, if I focus only on trying to build a career and figure things out, life starts to feel really heavy and stressful. It's like I'm stuck between feeling guilty for having fun and feeling burnt out for worrying about my future. I guess my dilemma is, how do I balance enjoying my life in my 20s and still feeling like I'm making progress? How do I stop feeling like I'm falling behind everyone else? First of all, we're just going to start off by saying, stop comparing yourself to other people. Comparing is the thief of joy, for starters. And second of all, social media gives you an unrealistic view of what people are supposed to be doing right now. People put their best versions of themselves on social media, and it gives a skewed version of what we think we're supposed to be at right now. People have houses that they can't afford, or don't have furniture in, or are paying with it with multiple other people. You don't know everybody's situation. You don't know what they have behind closed doors. You just see what social media says, and you take it for what it is, and you think you're fall behind, but you're really not. Don't degrade yourself for all the good things that you've done and all the accomplishments that you've made by comparing yourself to somebody else and you don't know their story. Pat yourself on the back and give yourself time to relax, as well as striving for those goals. You're 24. 24. Be 24. Say you live to your 100 years old. You're 24. You're only 1/4 of the way done with your life. You still have so much time to plan, so much time to really make something of yourself. So to spend your good years, your limber years, your years where your neck's not crack, snapping, and popping, your body's not breaking, like, you're spending your good years worrying and stressing about the future. Yes, we need to work on it. Yes, we need to work towards a goal to set ourselves up for the future, but you don't need to work so hard that you're not enjoying life now. If you died today, right now, would you feel guilty that you haven't experienced, haven't been out, haven't done anything that feeds that happiness within you? Or would you be like, yeah, you know what? I was doing the right thing for setting up for my future that I now don't have because I'm dead. Kind of morbid, but like, I'm trying to get y'all to realize that you need to be in the now. Yes, plan for your future, but also be in the now. Have fun now. Be happy now. But one thing I can say is that when you're feeling stuck, movement helps. So since you said you were worried about what you want to do for career-wise for the future, right? Break it down. Do it step by step. First, you need to define what it is that you want, what you want your life to look like. What are your goals in 10 to 15 years? What is it that you want in your life, and what do you want it to look like? Set that for yourself and figure out what that goal is. What are you striving for? Second, you need to figure out your plan in order to get there. What is it that you need in order to get to that level? What is it that you're missing currently that you need in order to get to that level? Figure it out. Break it down piece by piece, step by step, task by task if you need to. That's how I did it. My goal is to be flourishing with my clothing business. I had to, one, come up with what it is that I want to actually accomplish with my business. Make my goals for my business, and then what I need in order to get there. So one of my goals was I need to make sure I have all my license and permits and everything in order. So what do I need? I need to apply. I need to stay on it to make sure that they went through. I need to pay all my fees. I need to get the prerequisites, whatever is needed in order to get those licenses. And that's one task off the list that's getting me up to the level that I want to be. If you have a goal in mind, break it down. Take it step by step. If you feel so pressed and so concerned about your future, plan for that. Plan time for that, but also don't plan all your time to focus on career, because that's how you get burnt out. The future is now, babe. Like, live life now. Don't stress yourself out about the future if you're doing what it takes to get there. But something that I'm doing is giving myself a minimum of 30 minutes a day to focus on something to elevate me. I said I wanted to grow my business, so 30 minutes a day, I'm focusing on something in my business. I'm checking off a task. I'm practicing something that I need to get good at. I'm learning something new. I'm elevating myself every day for 30 minutes, starting with 30 minutes. You know, that's bare minimum. That's bare minimum, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You have 24 hours in a day. You can spend 30 minutes focusing on something that elevates your career, gets you to that next level. Then you have the rest of the time to be 24, be in your 20s and live your life. But as long as you're at least planning for some type of goal, starting somewhere, starting that initial movement, it pushes you and gets you to that career that you're wanting, but you have to start somewhere. And movement is what gets you going, baby, and that's where you got to start. So break it down, knock off tasks, and set yourself a goal. I spend 30 minutes every day on something that is going to get me to the career in the future that I'm wanting. I'm not going to burn myself out by spending hours at a time or spending a whole day on something. That's what causes burnout. You still need time to live, relax, and enjoy life so that you're not burnt out in the head or stressing yourself out or causing yourself anxiety about the future and what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. Okay? Everyone's timeline is going to be different, so don't feel pressured by anyone else. Honestly, block it all out. Life happens. Bumps and curves in the road happen. But every day, if you're doing something to better yourself and get you to the goal that you're looking for, you're ultimately going to get there. You just have to keep trying, keep putting at it. And fun fact, nobody knows what they're doing in their 20s. Everybody is lying and gaslighting each other to think that we're all put together and we know what we're doing, but we don't. Everybody's just making it look like they do and hoping that everybody else thinks they have a plan. Nobody has a plan of what to do, especially in your 20s. We're all broke and just figuring it out as we go. So to balance and enjoy your life, plan for your future, yes. Set a small goal for yourself or set tasks that you can complete that will elevate you to get you to that next goal. But don't do too much. Don't burn yourself out. Give yourself a minimum requirement a day so that you can feel as if you are moving towards your goal, but you're not burning yourself out. You're not stressing yourself out. And spend time being free, being in your 20s and living life. Hell, go out for brunch, go out of town, go on a date, meet friends, make life. If you're stressed about it, plan. Make tasks, then knock them off. Because as long as you're moving and elevating towards that goal, you're not stagnant. You're not gonna stay in this position forever. This is a momentary moment. But take this moment and live life as well, okay? And the only way that you can stop feeling behind everyone else is, like I said before, stop comparing. That's the only way that you can stop feeling like you're behind, because social media is a lie. Social media is a lie, and everybody puts their best selves on social media. So you're going to see what everybody wants you to see. You're going to see everybody as their put together selves, not the crying in the bathroom or the mental breakdowns or the steps and stones that they had to climb up to get to where they are, or, you know, what they had to endure or how they got to be where they at. Stop comparing yourself, because you don't live these people's lives. You don't know what they did to get to where they are. So live your life. Stop comparing yourself to others. Set goals for yourself so that you can get to that next level and feel like you're progressing towards your career and towards your goal. But also live life and enjoy life in your 20s, especially. You're young. Enjoy and live, okay? Go to a movie. Go have dinner. Go to a brunch. Also, speaking of freaking brunch, hot take, brunch is a scam. I mean, I feel like everybody should know that by now, though. Brunch is a scam. But hold on, hot take, though. Speaking of brunch, brunch is a scam. It's literally breakfast with better marketing. Like, come on, who's really going to get up at 11 a.m. and craving $11 eggs and an $18 mimosa that's filled with 90% orange juice? Nobody's craving that. It's just giving you an excuse to drink before noon. Brunch is literally a scam where you eat overpriced breakfast and drink in the daytime. It's just socially acceptable because it's called brunch. Like, why are we getting dressed up like we're on vacation to go have breakfast food and drink before noon? We can do that in our house. Make the food for free. Brunch is a scam. Anyways, but since we're on the topic of being in our 20s and trying to live life and have fun, I also want to speak on what it is that nobody prepared us for in our 20s. No one prepares us for how hard it is to coordinate schedules with friends now. Back in school, it used to be easy. Hey, you want to meet up tomorrow? Yeah, cool. Now it's, yeah, I got work on this day, but I'm free this day. Oh, well, dang, I got work that day, but I'm also free this day. I'll be able to hit you in the evening. Like, it's just a long list of trying to figure out when you can schedule time with someone. No one prepared me for how expensive groceries are. Parents used to buy that stuff and I'd be like happy-go-lucky because I got little snacks. But now I know those snacks cost $10 a pop, and it makes me want to actually just eat grass, because why is it so expensive to just eat food? to have a meal, to gain sustenance. Nobody prepared me for realizing that some family members will just never understand you. And that's because y'all are different people. Yes, y'all are in the same family, but that doesn't mean that y'all are close. That doesn't mean y'all have the same mindset. That doesn't mean that y'all understand or feel the same things. Some people just won't understand you, and they just happen to be your family members. Nobody prepared me for how often you question your choices in your 20s. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? Is this the right choice to make? Like, it's so stressful being in your 20s because everybody says you're supposed to be an adult by this point, but nobody knows what we're doing. Nobody prepared me for how to file my taxes and apply to get a Roth IRA. We're speaking on doing stuff in the future and planning for our future, but nobody teaches us this stuff in school. How am I supposed to know how to file my taxes, what all goes on there, how I'm gonna get the best refund? Like, no one explains that, or even what a Roth IRA is. No one prepared me how some days feel like everything's in alignment, everything's going great, and you're moving the way you're supposed to in life, and then other days you're spiraling and you feel like, actually, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and getting in your head. No one prepares you for that, but I so often do it. Heck, this segment right here is one of the main things that has me spiraling. Some days I feel like I'm on the right track to make a career for myself and the things that I want to do. But then other days I definitely feel just like the person who sent in this dilemma, where it's like, actually, I'm not doing enough, or actually I do feel guilty about going out and being in my 20s and having fun, because I feel like I should be doing more, you know? You're always going to question. You're always going to have that flip-flop where sometimes it just feels like everything's on track, and then other times it feels like you're spiraling. No one prepared me for outgrowing friends that you thought that you would have forever. There are some people back in high school and middle school that I was like, oh my gosh, we're finna be besties for the resties. We're finna be buddies for life. And then life happens, separation happens, distance happens, and you slowly dwindle out of those friendships, or you grow out of them, or y'all don't have the same views anymore. People grow and change, and especially when you're in different environments, it's so hard to like keep connection. No one prepared me for how much of adulthood is really just getting money in order to pay for bills. Like, we have to have a job, be a slave to a job in order to pay our bills. And that's pretty much what adulthood is. No one prepares you for how friends live further and further now. Before, we were in school and friends lived 5 minutes up the street, around the corner, but now it's like, it's a hop, skip, and a jump over into the next city. I'm traveling 45 minutes to go see somebody. You know, like, friends are just further and further now. No one prepares you for not having everything figured out in your 20s. Because adults, when we were young, it seemed like they felt as if you have a plan for your life. You go to school, you go to college, and then you're an adult. And you're supposed to have your career, your job, or whatever the case may be. They made it seem like that was the case. But nobody really knows what they're doing right now in their 20s. Everybody's asking the same questions or trying to figure themselves out. We're still learning how to be ourselves. No one tells you or shows you how to be an adult or what it means to be an adult. They just make it seem like you're just supposed to know. So stop stressing so much. Stop stressing so much, because I promise you, no one knows what they're doing. Being in your 20s is supposed to be fun. Go outside, read a book, do something fun. Stop stressing about what ifs and later on in life. As long as you're doing something that levels you up towards your goal, then you're making it. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you're in the exact place that you're supposed to be. There's no race of life. There's no goal that you're supposed to hit by a certain time. Nobody's on a time frame. Nobody has a stopwatch and they're timing you. Live your life. Everybody has a different path for how their life is supposed to be lived or when they're supposed to reach certain milestones. Yours is not going to be the same as the next person or the next person. Everybody's different. So just keep on being you, baby, and I promise you're going to get it. Now, if you're not focusing on your goals, don't make me get on you. Do not make me scream through this camera phone, okay? If you're not getting on your goals and you're slacking and you're beating yourself up too much that you're not focusing on your goals and still trying to level up yourself, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Yes, live life, but still try and level up, okay? Still try and level up, but don't burn yourself out. I know that's a whole bunch of back and forth in a balancing act, but hey, that's what life is. Trying to balance the good and the bad and the stressful. We have to balance what we are wanting to do for the future, but also the right now. Balancing the future and right now in our hands. So baby, I don't know. Live life, but also stick to your goals. Make goals for yourself and start processing. Like if you're sitting down and you're doing nothing and you're not planning and you're not working towards nothing and you're just being complacent, then that's where we have a problem. But if you're working towards something and you have a goal in mind and you're taking the steps to make that goal into fruition, then you're doing exactly what you need to be doing at this exact moment, okay? So stop feeling so stressed. You're not on a timeline. You're not on a time crunch. When you get there is when you get there. Hell, what was that thing with the tortoise and the hare? Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. More and more people are staying and living at home until they're financially stable. Also because the world is changing. Hello? I didn't even mention that. The world is changing, babe. It's a lot more expensive to move out, and especially by yourself. So if you don't have roommates, friends that you can move in with, it's hard. So don't sit here and expect yourself to be so much further than your family members or like the older generations, the people who could buy a house for a nickel and a dime, okay? It's so much harder now. And the way the world is, everything is more and more expensive. So you're having to work more and more and more to get to the same level that they were able to do like that. So stop comparing, because it's literally the thief of joy. And you need to be in the right now with yourself and learn to just love yourself and love the process and just live life. Live life. So what? We're still staying at home. We're staying at home and not paying any bills. We're staying at home and paying less bills than what we would if we were living by ourselves. Can we think about that? I'm staying at home. So just live life, babe. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but live life. Stop stressing. Stop comparing and just live life. Plan out your goals. Work on a little bit every day. And that will help you get that momentum, that movement that you need in order to feel like you're moving somewhere. It's going to take time for you to figure out what it is, what path you're supposed to go on, trial and error, and you can't be mad at the process. As long as you're looking towards that future goal and keep that in mind and live in life, then you should be happy with where you're at and stop comparing. But yeah, that's all I have on the topic of being in your 20s and not knowing what the heck you're doing, okay? Nobody knows what they're doing, babe. So just stop stressing. Stop stressing. Come here. Let me give you a hug. Stop stressing. I love you. That's all I have for you this week. I hope y'all join me again next Thursday. But before we go, let me give you a nice little loving until next week when I see you again. Give me your face. If you consent to a kiss, stay tuned. If you don't, skip 5 seconds. But I'm going to give you a kiss of good faith and good love and good joy, and hope you have an amazing week until I see you again. And yeah, just love and prosperity and clarity on living in your 20s and not stressing, okay? Focus on that this week. Live in your 20s and stop stressing, my love. Anyways, mwah, mwah. I gave you a little bite too. I hope that was not too crazy. I'm sorry. I know I didn't ask, but like, just a little spice to add, you know, a little something. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in to the Dre Files, episode 12. Andre, out!